Hello my friends, I am G Hondo, and welcome back to our Let's Play of OpenTTD Season 2. This is episode 99. During episode 98, two things happened. The most important one, of course, being that we got the shiny new Chimera, the super fast train here. This thing can go 643 kilometers an hour, which I assume means is the last one. There might be another one 646, but for only 3k per hour. I'm not sure how much relevance it would actually have between the Chimera and it. But either way, it was a huge upgrade from the previous one, the Pegasus, which I think was 450 or 470, something like that. The weirder part being, of course, that the Pegasus itself is something we only had for 2 years. And then the Chimera came out and just blew it away. Other than that, right at the end of the episode, we started up this mission here to deliver mail to Bree-Ness Ridge. So I've clearly have finished setting up that route. Looks like I'm just doing a little helicopter route to Liverlow to give competition to the Borg AI. Since he's already got an airport there, I figured I'd put in a heliport and let's give him some competition. Anyway, with that, we're going to get started. The other thing I'll mention is, I'm not sure if everyone noticed or not, I added a comment in the channel discussion. What I've decided to do is, rather than doing generally 4 or well, 3 to 5, but generally 4 videos per day in the approximately 20-minute range, instead I'm going to just do 1 or 2 videos a day and just make them much longer. So this episode here is the first one of the new set, so you'll see when we get to the 20-minute mark, I'm just going to keep going. So yeah, hopefully that's a change that works for everyone. The theory I have behind it is this will still give us the same amount of content for everybody every day, but it'll be a lot less administrative work on my part, having only 1 or 2 videos to deal with per day instead of 4. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it's just a little bit easier on my end. And like I say, theoretically, no difference at all on your end. So anyway, if you think that's a great idea or a horrible idea, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. In the meantime, let's crack on. It's got a decent number of passengers. I made 5 helicopters, and I'm wondering if that might be too many, at least at first. So we probably don't have... Well, this side certainly does. I was going to say, I don't know that we'll have that many passengers, but maybe we will. Although it's mail that we're worried about for this particular mission, but... Definitely the Liverlow side is definitely busy enough. That's very interesting. I wonder if it would be worth adding a secondary connection type, like either a road vehicle or a train or something. I'm certainly not going to put in an airport for a trip that short, but I could put in either a very short train or a very long road route, just for the passenger side, not even for the mail side necessarily, because that side the helicopters are doing just fine at. But I think I might put in something just to help offload this massive passenger traffic. So that's just a case of what would I like to do. This is a little bit short for a train, although it might not be too bad for a streetcar. But I think I'm just going to... Yeah, let's do a streetcar. I haven't done one of those in a while. So we definitely don't want to add another... we don't want to add even more range because this is already busy enough. So I'm going to put the station very near it, even though that's not really going to help all that much in terms of coverage. I really don't want to extend coverage. Unless I really want to punish this guy, but nah, it's okay. I'm not the vindictive type. So I'm just going to put it over here somewhere, right about, I don't know, there I guess. That'll do. And then of course on this side. Now this side I don't mind extending the coverage because this side I do need to grow, so I'm going to put it up over here somewhere. Probably right there. Excellent. Now we just need to connect them up. I will have to make a bridge, sadly. And I have to zap the road. Okay. So I guess then I don't actually want the streetcar route to go this way. I just want it to come here, I guess. That's fine. Yes, thank you. I see that. Yeah, we'll just come across over here. I didn't want to destroy the road, and this is too close to the river to use it, so we'll just build it over here. That's not a problem at all. And on this side, we shouldn't have to do much of anything, really, just extend the actual route. Somewhere up here. Take the trees off for a second so I can see. There we go. Beautiful. And slap in a depot somewhere around here. Doesn't terribly matter where. Let's just say right here, arbitrarily. Excellent. Okay. Now this is only for passengers. Okay, so Telford it is. Excellent. Close that just for a second. Right, so you shall be Renus, Liverlow, passenger, tram. Just so it's different than the helicopter one, so I know they're not interfering with each other. It shouldn't make a huge difference anyway, but this is just so I know that this is a road vehicle and not interfering with that helicopter. That's the only difference for that. I could just copy the route from this, but then it would have that very strange attempt to go into the helicopter depot. So I think instead I'll just set the route manually. It'll be just fine. It's not a very complicated route anyway. There we go. I will have to figure out a way for this thing to turn around before I clone this vehicle. So for now I'm just going to watch and see where it wants to go so I can figure out what the best place to turn around will be. Actually, this already has a bridge, so I could just make a new bridge here, I think. Maybe that's what I'll do. Or even over here, maybe. No, that's probably not going to work so well. This might be too close to this river here, but we'll try it. We can definitely make that way. Oops, that's railroad. That's completely not what I wanted. Whoops. Getting sloppy. Let's try that again, only let's actually use the right kind of bridge. I was wondering why that didn't connect. It seemed very strange to me. Now, can I connect like that? No, I'm going to have to come out like that. Alright, not a problem. So we'll have this weird little loop-de-doo thing, but it should still be alright. Oh, I'm going to have to blow up that bridge. Really? Okay, well, so be it. The whole point of this was to try and avoid doing that, but I guess it's decided I'm doing it anyway. Okie dokie. So now I have this weird loop-de-doo pretty much for nothing, because I could have just built the bridge further over. Oh well, so be it. Mine is not to reason why. Anyway, so this now should come in here nicely and then come back out here to reconnect on the other side. So this should be no problem there. Then we'll just watch on the other side and see where it thinks the best place to go is on this end. So then I guess this can replace this. That's fine. Okay. Might as well run at high speed. No reason not to. At least until we get to here. Alright, so it's going to come into here. I think I just want to extend this out and around and loop back. I think that's going to be the easiest way. Loop that to there, up to here somewhere, and to there. A nice tight loop. That should work just fine. Okay, so yeah, this can hold lots of passengers, and there's lots to be had. Lots and lots and lots to be had. So I'm thinking maybe 4 or 5 of these should do. So let's just go ahead and clone 4 more of them. 2, 3, and 4. You're all green to go. Off you go, lads. Make me some money. there's absolutely no chance that they'll be picking up much passenger traffic here, if any. Maybe one or two, no big deal. They're really just to help clear the passenger backlog here, which also will help both these cities grow. So, I mean, it's worthwhile anyway, but it has nothing to do with the mission and has nothing to do with what's happening with the helicopters. It's purely just because I don't like seeing depots with over 1,000 people waiting. That's a recipe for graffiti and nonsense. Well, that's neat. So they actually will try to come in this way if this thing is full from a train going this way. That's fantastic. I mean, it's ultimately not terribly relevant, but like I say, because there isn't much happening here anyway, but that's still very neat that they'll do that. I really don't like this corner, though. I wonder if it would be worthwhile. I'd have to blow up a house to fix it properly, to bring one this way, which I really don't want to do. Now I'll just have to live with it. It's fine. So the other option, I guess, would have been to have this side be the one that comes all the way over here, and this side of the river just to be the loop part, but it's fine. It'll be fine. I also can't help but notice we're achingly close to the €2 billion mark, which is fantastic. And that 2 of our missions have completed, with a 3rd right on the heels of completing, so this is fantastic. We are doing really, really well. And the other, I guess, advantage to doing these longer episodes, this will obviously get us through the years much quicker. For anyone who's just jumping into the series now, this late into the game, and has missed some of my previous videos, the mods I'm using for this particular run-through run out in 2070, so I've decided 2070 is going to be the end of this series before I start the new one, so just in case. Okay, what's happening here? Why is nobody moving? Did somebody break down? Or is this too tight, maybe? Maybe this is too tight. Yuck. Okay. That's not so good, because I don't think I can really fix that effectively. Maybe I can do something like that, though. This is really, really hideous, but I guess it works, sort of. I really don't like it, but it sort of works. So let's fix that while they're all gone. This clearly needs to be a much longer run. There we go. Okay. Because now we can fit more vehicles here in case they get stuck at this station. Okay, that'll work. Alright, our new missions. Oh, isn't that convenient? It gave us a passenger mission to Breenest. That will take no time at all, because we're already doing tons of passengers. Steel to Lewis Head we already have. So yeah, no problem at all. Fantastic. If anyone has any recommendations on mods or a challenge for Season 3, please feel free to leave me a comment. My current intent, assuming I'm not given a better idea, is to do a one city challenge, where basically I pick one city arbitrarily at the beginning of the game, and I may only build routes that directly connect to it. So mail, passengers, and valuables will all be fine, but I probably cannot actually connect any secondary industries because I wouldn't be able to connect. For example, I couldn't bring, say, iron ore to a steel mill and then the steel mill's goods to my city because I couldn't do that first connection because it's not directly connecting to the city. So basically I'm going to have one super huge city that's based purely on passenger, mail, and valuables traffic. Unless that city grows so much that it happens to envelop another industry. Like, for example, if I say the city was here and it grew enough that this forest was technically part of the city, then I could use that forest, because it's part of the city, connect it out to a sawmill somewhere, and then connect the sawmill back to the city. That would be okay, but the odds of that are pretty low. So basically it will be just a passengers, mail, valuables, super city. And I foresee it getting to be a very convoluted mess, especially inside the city, as it grows and grows, but also getting out of the city to reach other cities is going to be very difficult. I might even, as an extra challenge, if I feel brave enough, is say that I'm not allowed to use air vehicles, because obviously that would make it much easier to get out of the city if I just had a little helipad or something. So I might force myself to use only roads or rails. So that could be... I think it's going to be interesting. But like I say, that's not set in stone yet, so if anyone does have other ideas, I'd be delighted to hear them. And then when we go to start Season 3, I'll just pick the one that sounds the best to me. So that's the plan. Okay, so these streetcars are definitely doing well. They seem to have cleared that congestion issue. I guess they just need to run a few times to sort themselves out. Well, these two are going to arrive at almost the same time, but they're going in different directions, so they'll be okay. Okay, yeah, things are looking pretty good here. Fantastic. I like it. This is good. I guess my other option, instead of going across here, I could come back this way and loop around. Maybe I'll do that. So I'm going to start first by fixing this little road here that the city seems to have broken itself on. Silly people. And then I think we're going to actually lose this whole... because I really don't like this little zigzag thing here. That's really atrocious. So I think instead we are just going to come out here and here. And then here to here, of course. Here to here. And then we will just disconnect this to this. So now they will have this back in business. Which means I can get rid of all of this horrible mess. Including this pointless bridge, which I don't like. Okay. Much better. And I can actually build them their road and bridge back, just to be a nice fella. I will even build them one here, even though it's pointless, just because I can. Right. Excellent. Oops, let's get that back up here. I should build a... make sure that's all connected. Oh, okay, whatever. Alright, that's fine. We're all good here. So that's a much nicer little loop around area to get them back and out. I like that a lot better than what I had over here. That was a mess. Okay. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, yep. Passenger overflow is starting to get cleared a little bit. We're actually getting a little bit hefty from mail, too. Which is kind of surprising. This side's still totally fine. Maybe these 5 helicopters aren't enough to do all that mail. Huh. Hi, Smokey. Coming up? Come here. Why don't you jump up here and be a nice quiet boy like Devil is? Doesn't that sound like fun? Or you just want to stare at me like I'm an idiot? Okay, stare at me like I'm an idiot. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Anyway. Is there a streetcar vehicle that does mail? Or do I have to do a road one? Oh, there is ones for mail. Now they go 72, but the passenger ones go 88. So that's not really ideal. Because then they'll get slowed down by them. Unless I do a bunch of... well, I could do some sidings, but I'm not sure they would actually use them. A train would, but a streetcar probably wouldn't. That's not really ideal, but I could do a mail truck. That I could do. Smokey, buddy, why are you screaming at me, sir? I'm recording. I can't really pet you too much right now. You gotta wait. Yeah. It's a good boy. Okay, good. Devil's sleeping, so he won't be jealous. It also explains why he's being quiet. Anyway. Yeah, so maybe I'll build a road and then just do mail by road. I think that's what we'll do. That way, I don't want to slow down the passenger traffic just because the mail streetcars are slower. That doesn't seem like a great plan to me. But if we plunk down a road somewhere over here as part of that, excellent. And we can build a road from it out somewhere over here. And then on this side, we'll need another truck on the road depot. I can go right, I don't know, here maybe? That'll do. And then connect that road. Okay, so I will need a bridge, but that's fine. Not sure I really need a silicon tubular bridge for road vehicles, but sure. Why not? We have over 2 billion euros. I don't really need to worry about cost too much anymore. Anyway, and then we'll have a road depot over here somewhere. Maybe just on this little hill. That'll do. Excellent. And let's get some mail trucks. Yeah, these are much better. Excellent. Okay. So you shall be Renus, Liverlow, excuse me, mail. Okay. Again, I'm not sure how many I need yet, so let's just get the one going first, and then we'll worry about it after. Okay, very good. Green to go. And that can actually be the one we're watching as a road vehicle. That'll do. Okay, so on this side there won't be much, if anything, so that's fine. Okay, and you just turn around there. That'll totally work. That's totally fine. Now on this side, there should be lots of mail. So I probably need 1 or 2 vehicles. Probably 2. I'm going to start with just the single one, because it's going to take about half the mail by itself. But there are still helicopters taking some of that, so I don't want to take all of it. Oops, hang on. Hang on, something failed on auto-renew because an aircraft is not available. You are a guru. Oh, don't tell me there's no more helicopters. There's no more helicopters. Ah! Well, that sucks. That's not good. That's not good at all. I have lots of helicopters. 27 of the things. Poop. Alright, well, there's not much I can do about that. I'm not recreating 27 routes just to use something other than a helicopter. I guess I just won't be making any new helicopter routes. Unless it actually does give me a new helicopter at some point. That's unpleasant. Can't say I'm a fan of that. Okay, so even though there's hardly any mail going back, this will definitely still be a profitable truck, so. But I don't think I need more than one of them. The helicopters I do have are taking most of it, and it can take the rest. If there's a little bit sitting there, it's not a big deal. There shouldn't be so much that I need a second vehicle. I don't think, anyway. No, because it's going to take 120 of that. There's a helicopter coming in right now. Yeah, this is fine. That'll be fine. Okay. Alright. Not a problem. Missions complete. Replaced by an incredibly tiny wood one. That's not going to take any time at all. It's been a long time since we've had one that small. That's pretty weak. Yeah, it's already 3/4 done from one drop-off. Right, well that was a pretty non-starter as a mission. I am very saddened by the lack of helicopters, though. That does not amuse me much. I know I'd love to replace you, but you haven't given me a replacement helicopter. But I guess I'll just check at the beginning of every year if there is a helicopter. There currently isn't for 2043. I'll check again in 44. Because chances are good it's not. But with all these extra messages, I'm not going to see a message about a new vehicle. The other problem, of course, is with all these, if there's something other than an aircraft that's not auto-renewing for some reason, I probably won't see that either because of all these messages. So that's not ideal. Anyway, how's my Tron down Trend Dune? Still can't believe I called these. I took these two cities deliberately because they're so close together. That's sad. I mean, it sounds like something I would do, but what a mess. The only reason I picked that city is because the names were identical. Pretty sad. Anyway. New mission in is Net Hill. That's an oil one we've already got. That one's come up quite a few times. I remember that name, so no problem there at all. But this Tron down one's almost done, so we'll let it finish. But yeah, so other than the helicopter problem, I'd say we're doing quite well here. Very well indeed. This was a pretty good season, I'd say. The beginning was really tough, with just the horse-drawn wagons and the very early, really crappy steam engines. Very low capacity, so you couldn't haul much. Stuff was really slow, so it was really tough to make any money and thus get out of debt. It took me, I think, 30 episodes to finally get out of debt. It was pretty harsh. But after that, it was all smooth sailing, because by then we had halfway decent trains and boats, and I think we even had our first airplanes by then, or very shortly after, so it got a lot easier after that, but it was a really tough start, which was nice. I don't want like a super challenge, but I do want to have at least a little bit of a challenge. The channel's for fun, but it's not supposed to be so boring that nothing happens. There's got to be at least a little bit of a challenge. Just not a super insane one. Someone gives me a mod that gives you the 1800 start with nothing but horse-drawn vehicles, and they never expire, and the challenge is use those for the entire game, I'm probably going to say no, because that's too much of a challenge. But anyway, livestock to Lewis Head, there's another duplicate. That one's one we've had lots and lots of times. In fact, that's the one that we had so often. I actually built a really expensive tunnel for it long ago, just to get away from this little hill, because this farm is awesome. It's been doing really well. It's been high production for many years, so I think it was a good investment to build that little tunnel. I think it cost about $500,000 at the time, which at the time was significant. I mean, now it's peanuts, but at the time, you know, picture this with, you know, three or four less digits, and, you know, $500,000 becomes quite a lot, but now I wouldn't even notice it. You know, $1 million here, $1 million there. Eventually it adds up to real money. Anyway. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see how we're doing up here in the crazy land of many boats. And apparently we need more. Yeah, we need a couple more passenger boats still. That is pretty crazy. But okay, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Those things over here. Okay, so the passenger backlog is coming down still, slowly, but it's easing down, and the mail backlog is definitely improved, which is nice. On this side, yeah, we're keeping up pretty well. Very good. Very, very good. Yes, I know, sweetie. I know you want to replace that helicopter. I'd love to let you, but there isn't one. I'll check again in a couple months when we're into 2044. But that's going to make me very sad if there's never another helicopter, because the reliability on these things, even a relatively new one, you know, it's only 3 years old, the reliability is already down to 30%. So it's bad. See, at least with the boats, they left the base reliability decent, even when they're old, because we haven't had new boats since the 60s. But the helicopters, apparently they didn't do that, whoever made this mod, so it's not so good. It's nice that you gave me new trains up till 2070, but sometimes I want to use roads and streetcar stuff too, helicopters and all sorts of other things. Give me it all, sir. Give me it all. Anyway. Anyway. This one here should be finishing pretty soon. As I recall, the steel coming in here was pretty decent. Lots of goods sitting there. I guess Ackley must have asked for goods at some point. I don't remember it, but I'm sure it must have at some point. It's a very long trip, though. That's a fair bit of steel coming in still. Yeah, it's a very good mine. Very, very good mine. So yeah, there'll be plenty of steel available. This is a very short trip I've got for the iron coming into the steel mill. And I guess, though, at 600 kilometers an hour, this really isn't that long a trip. I can't even imagine trying to do one of these with the horse-drawn carriage, but it would take 2 years to get there. It'd be pretty harsh. But this thing zip back and forth in a couple weeks. No big deal. Very nice, very nice. Another thing I wanted to look at. What city won the population race? Chiefwait, who actually loved me. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember this one. This was a really tiny city. I put a stop on both ends of the city, basically. So the whole city was basically, that area there. And it was about, I think, like 3,000 or 4,000 people. Now it's up to 130,000. That is crazy. And they love me, though, because I've been with them the whole time. Isn't that something? Since then, Choo Choo is infested. See, yeah, and I was connecting it to Broness. Broness should still like me, even though I only have one station there. And then Choo Choo went in and started later working on the side of it after it grew. But yeah, that's really neat. That is just a staggeringly large city. Actually, this is a pretty good example I was talking about earlier with the one city challenge. So, for example, if this had been the one city I was working with, and it grew to this size, it's still not quite there, but I would be almost at a point where I could use this iron mine. If the city grew a bit more, just a little bit more around it, so that was definitely part of the city, then I would actually be able to take this. I could then take ore from here out to a steel mill, and then bring the steel back. Now that wouldn't be very helpful unless there was also a factory within the city limits, but at least in theory I'd be able to do it. Forests for sawmills are better because it's just a one step, whereas steel you need 2 steps to get goods, but either way. But that's a good highlight of what I was talking about, cities growing up to and over a resource. So, actually if Broness keeps growing this way, it would also have that option, but it still has a fairly long way to go. Anyway, I'm sure what I'm talking about is mostly clear, so if not, leave me a comment, I'll try and explain it better, but I think it's pretty clear what I'm talking about. Hopefully, anyway. What's this boat doing? It's an oil run. That's not bad. Alright, well, we're into 2044. Do we have helicopters? No. Still no sign of a helicopter. Some very interesting looking planes, but still no helicopters. That is disappointing. I guess the other way, I could probably see that if I come here. Oh no, these are still available. If there were, when there's no vehicles for a certain class, usually it grays them out, but I guess apparently either it's planning on reintroducing a helicopter at some point, or it's only programmed to go one way, so it becomes available the first time a vehicle's available, but doesn't deactivate it later. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know for sure. This saddens me greatly. Greatly saddens me. Anyway. Not much I can do about it. Apparently, Sendale wanted something, but I must... Yeah, I've already got that connected. I don't remember this one, but I must have done so. I know, sweetie, I know. I'd love to replace you, but I can't. I really can't. And I really don't want to go through and rebuild all of those routes. That sucks. That really sucks if I have to do that. Anyway. Even this city is growing pretty well considering it's not actually being serviced at all. It's actually doing pretty well. Usually cities that don't get any servicing whatsoever stay relatively small, but this one's actually managed to grow at least a little bit, which is nice of them. They're not growing right now, but they must have been growing at some point. Certainly wasn't because of me. I've not been out here. You're having trouble with the local authority here, apparently. Or were. Nope, still are. So you're trying to make them happy by giving them this little passenger service, but it's not connected to anything. Oh, maybe it was going to hope to try and just do it like a little intra-city one. You know, just from Maltown to Maltown or something. But the local authority is angry at them and will not allow it. Tisk, tisk. Or it wants to build a train to actually connect to these, one or the other. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway. Anyway, we are cruising through pretty well. Again, minus the helicopter issue. Things are going pretty well. We're breezing through these missions. It helps that A, it's giving us ones that are so tiny, but also B, that they're almost always duplicates, so that helps quite a bit. And obviously if I do end up doing the One City Challenge or any other challenge that has nothing to do with the Busy Bee script, then I just won't be using this mod. I mean, I like it. It's nice that it gives you ideas of what you can build to next. It's certainly helpful. But in the case of, especially the One City Challenge, it doesn't make sense to run it. Because I won't be able to do missions to almost all of them. Unless they happen to pick my city. So, I'll just not have this mod on. I'm not sure if there is any other mods that I will add, unless there's maybe more vehicle mods or something. I might add some of those, but in terms of mission mods, I probably won't add one for next season. Again, unless somebody gives me a different challenge that makes sense to have this on. But, like I say, with the current plan of a One City Challenge, there's no need for it. In fact, it'll just be a distraction, and that's all it'll be. Do you really need 4 bridges for a city of less than 10,000 people. That leads nowhere. Especially this one. This is basically his personal bridge. Whoever owns that house is a very happy fellow. Well, maybe not, because it doesn't actually connect anywhere. Okay. He's a very silly fella, because he still has to come in here and use this bridge. Oh, you silly sots. I will fix that for you. There you go. Congratulations, whoever lives here. You now can actually use this bridge. Such silly people. And I don't even have anything to do with Rohal. I'm not even involved here. Choo Choo's the only one that's there, and they like Choo Choo, but Choo Choo will never fix that. Choo Choo's more interested in trains. It only really builds the bus stations just to increase coverage. So. The other idea I had for another challenge, although I'm still leaning towards the one city challenge more, but another idea I had would be a connect all challenge, where basically I pick any one industry, preferably one that doesn't expire, like say a valuables, but pick one industry and ensure that every single one on the map is connected in some way, because that could be quite challenging. The difficulty with that one is that, say for example I choose, say, forests, they can expire and then just vanish, and then new ones are always popping up. See, I don't mind the new ones popping up part, which means I have to go connect them, but ones that expire, it's really silly. But I could do a, connect every bank, do that for a challenge, because that would be quite challenging. Early on, there's not very many of them, because only cities of a certain size ever spawn a bank. And even then, I think it's still not 100% guaranteed. But most of them, once they reach a certain size, almost always build one. But early on, there won't be very many, and they'll be pretty far apart, so getting going in that mission, or that challenge, will be really tough. Windhall. Am I connected to Windhall? No. I am not connected to Windhall. Well, this would be a great place to build a helicopter. Please, sir, helicopter? Please? Helicopter? No? Okay. No helicopter. Well, I guess I could build a plane to here. That might be alright. Let's do that. Even make this an intercontinental, biggest airport you've ever seen. Okay, that's a little excessive. Even an international one's pretty ridiculous. How about just a city-sized one? That seems more reasonable. Oh, there's something there I can't see. Alright, how about over here? Will it fit over here? No, it's not flat enough. How about here? Nope. Here. Good. That'll do. Now over here, that's a big city, so we'll definitely give you a metropolitan class one, because you're enormous. In fact, I might even give you an international level one, because you are absolutely enormous. If, assuming, of course, I can find a spot to place the stupid thing. There we go. Okay. Now, we will want to increase our coverage for mail traffic. And easiest way to do that is just a couple of truck loading bays somewhere not too far away. Oh, you're not happy enough with me yet to actually allow that. Alright, well let's get the service running first and then see if they'll be a little bit happier. We want mail, although they will support both passengers and mail, so I guess it's the Hyper Dart we're going to take, because that's the newer one. Okay, so this is the Great Acom to Windhall. It's mail and passengers, so I'll just call it passengers. Good enough. You shall be for sure passengers. And again, mail is the siding. Right, so you'll go from hangar to tarmac. Oh, this is so close to the edge, it's kind of hard to get at, but that's fine. to hangar to tarmac. Excellent. Green to go. So right now you're probably, yeah, not real happy with me yet. And this side almost certainly is very angry at me because I wrecked some, yeah, because I wrecked wrecked all their landscaping out here. That's why they're angry. But that's okay. They've already, clearly while the authority hates me, the actual citizens have completely forgiven me because they just really want out of that little city. This side's not so much, but definitely, apparently, a lot of people don't want to be in Great Achem anymore. So, but now that we're servicing them better, this should start to go up. It may take a little while, but that should start to go up. And once it goes up a couple notches, I'll be able to put in a truck bay to increase the mail coverage. Although it's already pretty good, so it's not critical. Very good. And a trip that short is peanuts for a plane of this speed. Absolutely peanuts. Yeah, it takes about 4 days to make the flight, and then obviously the takeoff and landing parts, but the actual flight across, about 4 days. Which sounds like a lot, but you have to remember the scale of the game is not quite on. So, there's no way a plane can fly for 4 days and not run out of fuel, so you kind of have to fudge the numbers a little bit. Anyway. Still just atrocious. Okay. That's fine. And we're almost to 46, so I can check for helicopters again. On the desperate hope that we'll be allowed to have one. But I don't like my chances, is all I'm saying. But I will check. Definitely interesting looking planes, but no helicopters. That is sadness. That is definitely sad. Oh well, that's okay. We'll be fine. I'm sure we'll survive. How are we doing on this side? Do they... No, they're still mediocre. Okay. There'll probably be quite a few trips before they start to actually like me. Oops, what are you? A new flatbed for wood. I don't think we're going to use it, but let's go take a quick look. Get rid of that. Guess we can check them all real quick while we're here. Oh, that's a slight upgrade, same speed, a few more passengers. I think that can be an old replacement. It's certainly not an urgent one. Nope. 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 And nope. Okay, so we're not using it. No problem. Carrying on. I guess the other one I could check for out of sheer desperation would be a new type of boat. And nope, we still just have the ones from the 60s and the 70s. That is sad. Clearly the boats were forgotten. Oh well. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, it's just a bit disappointing. Well, we are at least helping the city actually grow, so that should help here. Like I say, I don't know how long it will take. If I get desperate, I could always like plant a bunch of trees or something, because that tends to make them a bit happier, but it's really not critical. It's not that big a deal. We're doing fine. This doesn't want really all that much mail anyway, so it's certainly not what I'd call a critical issue. I mean, if it came down to it, I could always just add a few more planes, and I probably should, based just on the number of passengers there. Yeah, I think I probably will. Oops. What am I doing? Oh, I never noticed that. This actually has 2 hangars. That's actually quite neat. Oops. Hang on, hang on. Too many things at once. Alright, first let's finish cloning. We'll have 2 more of these. Okay. It'll take them a bit to sort themselves out in terms of where they are in the route, but they'll be fine. Next, a coal truck. Well, we'll check it, but again, I don't think we're going to end up using this. Where's the coal? No, we're not going to be using it. It was, I don't remember which one it was, but it's definitely not one that's better than what we've already got, so. Nope, no thank you. Moving on. Alright, I think we're making some pretty good progress here. And we're now coming up to what I would call somewhere near time control. It would have been about a little over 3/4 of an hour, so that's not bad at all. I think I'll probably shoot for basically the 1 hour mark. I think that should work. If it's a little more or a little less, no big deal. But I think that would be a pretty good place. Do we like me yet? No. No, we most assuredly do not. Okay. Well, I could try to like bribe them or something, but I really don't think it's worth doing. So, what about on the other side? Do they like me yet? They were just mediocre. Oh, they're up to good. See, they actually like me. It's probably because I'm taking a higher percentage of the city, but they at least like me enough that now I could actually add in some more stations. So I think I'll do one of each if it'll let me. 1 bus and 1 truck. The bus one for passengers, and the truck one for mail. Oops, that's too far. There we go. Okay. So that means now, it'll take a little bit, but this should now start getting many, many more passengers and a bit more mail. Which is nice. Basically just makes the planes more profitable. Can't be a bad thing. Although, not critical, can't be a bad thing. If at some point these guys start to like me a little bit better, I could do the same for them, but I just don't know if I'm getting enough of the city for them to care about. I'm clearly, very, very much attracting their population, but I guess the city council must live over here and they don't like me. Whereas all the people here are like, yeah, this is great. We can actually get out of this little city. But anyway, who knows? I mean, I guess I could try just building them trees. Here, have some yellowish trees. Okay, well I just spent... I didn't even catch what that was, but it was a lot. So hopefully that made you at least a little bit happier. Well, happier, still not good, but better. I don't know if that's going to be enough though. We'll try it. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, looks like it might be. Okay, so they let me have another bus station for more passengers. Will they let me have a truck station for mail? Oh, looks like they will. Just a case of trying to find a spot to put it where it'll actually help. Because you can't go too far from the actual other stations. So there we go. Okay, so they're still not real happy with me, but by adding those extra 2 stations, I slightly increase, maybe I shouldn't say slightly, I definitely increase the amount of access to the city, which in turn should make them like me more. I may need more planes. This side can clearly support more planes, can this side? Because it is a smaller type airport. It's still big, but it's not as big. So it only has the single hangar. I guess it can handle maybe one more. I don't know that I want to do much more than that, but maybe one more. Okay. And we're into 2047, so let's take a quick, desperate look. Once again for helicopter. No. I am saddened. But I think we made fantastic progress for this episode, so I think since we're coming up to the 1 hour mark, this will be a pretty good place to put a cut in. So, until next time folks, stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye now.